News this morning, the Commonwealth improves in many aspects involving the fight against COVID-19, and one Kentucky community celebrates an expansion project giving thousands of Kentuckians access to faster internet speeds.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. We finally made it to the end of the work week. I'm Dakota Makris. Good Friday morning to you. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at your forecast. And Brandon, just before the newscast started, I said I did not see a single ounce of fog this morning. I think that's the first time in nearly 5 years, it feels like. So,
it feels like 5 years,
does,
but
yeah.
it's been a couple of months. I swear I believe we've had a foggy morning just about every morning for the last couple of months. But this morning, pretty good shape. That's because that cold front went through last night, brought us some pretty good little thunder boomers. Even one severe warning out there, but again, we got lucky, but that may not be the case as we start next week. But let's talk about today first. We see some of that rain still on the way out, but the clouds coming back in after some clear skies there for overnight. When I first left the house right around 3:30, the moon was out. So again, it's been increasing there the last couple hours, and that will continue to be the trend for the next little bit. Temperatures this morning still dropping. 45 in Moorhead, 47 Irvin, 48 Monticello, 49 Middlesboro. Everybody else except for Wise there just noticed that 46 is in the low 50s this morning, but close to 50 and will continue to drop as we look at the out-the-door forecast. Now, while I'm not going to rule out some sunshine today, I think it's mainly cloudy and there could be a stray chance for a passing shower as well. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. An Eastern Kentucky community is mourning 3 lives lost. Students and staff at the Buckhorn School held a vigil at the school's baseball field yesterday in honor of former students that died in recent weeks. 2 of those COVID-19 related, and one of the result of an accidental shooting.
She really wanted a way to kind of help the students mourn this loss, and she didn't really want to flood, the funeral home with all of the students at one time. So she asked if we could do something here at the school. And, we're a close-knit community here. And so we were all for letting them do that.
Now the community gathered at the field, lighting candles and flashing the school scoreboard in honor of those students and staff member. At yesterday's Team Kentucky briefing, Governor Andy Beshear said we are improving in nearly every element against COVID. But as this wave shrinks, the governor says we cannot drop our guard and let cases increase again. He says schools are looking to unmask, but that is just too dangerous of a risk to take.
That again shows that the level of disease is declining. Now, I know I've at least heard some news that some school systems are already looking at going to masking optional. We know and we have seen that will increase COVID in your area. I do believe there's going to be a time during the course of this entire school year where that is likely possible and safe. But with vaccines on the horizon for 5 to 11-year-olds coming what we think is really fast, hold on. Again, don't punt on third down.
Yesterday's COVID-19 update is on our website, and the governor says among the new deaths is a baby and 2 other young people. The governor also mentioned that the state's health facilities will be ready to vaccinate younger children once it is approved for ages 5 to 11. Well, we talked to college leaders yesterday who say they are seeing an increase in enrollments compared to last year. They also encourage students to fill out a FAFSA application. The free application for federal student aid allows colleges to determine a student's federal aid ability and often helps colleges award their own awards to students. Leaders say students should not skip out on it.
Because they may be eligible for some type of grants or scholarships. And the more grants and scholarships you have, of course, the difference between a grant and scholarship and a loan is you don't have to pay a grant or scholarship back.
Now, you can opt out of filling out the FAFSA, but college leaders say they advise against that because students need all the help they can get when going to college. Senator Rand Paul says he'll be introducing a new bill that could be an alternative to calls for free college tuition. Jim Stratman sat down with the senator to discuss his new tax deduction proposal for higher education.
You know, education has become so expensive over the last couple of decades. Over the last decade, the price of college has doubled.
That's a problem that lawmakers have been debating on Capitol Hill. But how to go about fixing it is a larger discussion.
The problem with free is there's no guarantee that you'll work.
Senator Rand Paul is offering his take on how to approach affordable higher education in a new bill he's proposing called the Tax-Free Education Act.
If it's a tax deduction, you don't get it unless you work. You have to actually earn a salary in order to take a deduction. The way I look at college is it's a work expense. Most people go to college because they thought it would be necessary to get a job, and it often is. So I think that it ought to be tax deductible.
The senator tells me he believes that this act will help Americans be able to handle some of the cost of higher education, while also keeping colleges, technical schools, and universities from having to cut costs.
If the government gives more money to colleges, it just simply causes the price of college to go up. In this case, we're not giving you the money. You're getting to deduct the money at a later date, but you still owe your $100,000 to college. You still might say, you know, I'd rather borrow $50,000 because I've got to pay it back, even though it's deductible. I'll make my decision to shop around schools and look for the better price. But if yours is just free, if they say you can go to Harvard or UK or anywhere else you want to go, it's free. You're not going to shop on price. Why would you care what the price is if it's completely free?
Senator Paul says he expects to introduce the bill early next week. Reporting in Lexington, Jim Stratman, WKYT.
The Somerset community celebrated a broadband expansion project yesterday. More than 8,000 locations will now have access to dedicated fiber through Kinetic Windstream Internet. The new high-speed internet will help rural areas and comes at a great time as more people are working from home. Officials say this helps put rural areas on even ground with the rest of the world.
Access to fiber does many things for the community. It allows economic development. It allows small businesses to thrive. It also increases property values. Studies have shown up to 5%.
Community members are also looking forward to the $1.5 million from the FCC and the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund for broadband and their rural homes. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, a new online portal is in development, making it easier for people across the Commonwealth to apply for jobs.